Hi, this is Hedrick here, Principal Horticulturist of Plant Visionz, and today I'm going to be sharing with you how Cattleyas grow in different sorts of media. So the first one we have here, this is a Visionz, and you can see this is growing on a piece of tree trunk. Okay, this was basically a trunk or a big branch or sawed up, and we just tie the orchid on top. This is a very inexpensive way, a form of recycling to grow your orchids. A lot of orchids actually in the wild, they grow on trees. So the best way to do it is of course to mimic what the conditions and the media that it had, and yeah, you just try and copy that. Okay, and of course, you know, you can hang it up, therefore you save a lot of space. For this orchid, okay, we always put a wetting pad such as sphagnum moss. And then what we do is we tie it around, because you probably would water your plants once a day. However, this plant likes to be a bit more dry, so therefore only the base of the plant has got a wetting pad, and then the rest of it you let it climb. As you can see here, this plant is very happy. As you can see that the green roots are all growing up the tree bark. Alright, so now we're going to go on to a different method of growing, also on a mount, is what we call them. This is a tree fern slab. This actually is come out of a tree fern. It's very, very slow growing. Quite right now, you can't really buy these things because some places they are not allowed to export them, but sometimes if you're lucky you find them. What's so good about this is that they do not rot. Unlike the tree bark or tree branch, over time they do decay. This doesn't decay. And I can see also this is a Cattleyas anceps. What I did was I also wrapped the base around with a wetting pad. This is actually what we call a tree fern root. Alright, so that it keeps some moisture over here, and after that it will just keep on climbing. So this is another great way to grow orchids to save space. Growing in charcoal is the classical method of growing Cattleyas. All you do is just take lumps of charcoal and put it onto a pot about 3/4. Put your plant on top. You can of course stake it to prevent it from wobbling and jiggling when you water it, and therefore you just put it on the bench. However, a word of caution: if your bench below do not have plants, it is not a good thing. It's because you probably end up drying your orchid out or drying your Cattleya out a lot more than you should. So therefore I highly recommend a top dress of either cocoa chips, or you can use sphagnum moss, or you can use sawdust to just give it a dress on top to keep the moisture up. Okay, so this is the concept of growing Cattleyas in charcoal. The next method of growing Cattleyas is you can use pure coconut. This, as you can see here, is just 2 sections of coconut, pressing the Cattleya in the center and let it grow and shoving it in a net pot. So the problem with this, as you can see here, it's after a while very, very wet. It will start to rot some parts of the plant. As you can see here, this part has started to rot off. However, it's fairly cheap, easy to do, and of course, with this net pot, actually you can string it up. This plant here is doing pretty well, even though at the back, okay, it's starting to rot off. So if you ask me, what I recommend you to do is actually to take the whole coconut husk out, and then to repot it in charcoal and top dress it if you prefer higher moisture. So you can watch the other video with the link below on how you can actually repot this type of orchids when you get them. Okay, so this is it. So for next one, this is how I find it the most optimum way to grow your Cattleyas, is that you have some charcoal over here. Okay, it's grown on a wire so that the plants are supported, okay, during the growing phase, and you can put some wetting or we'll call it top dressing agent or top dressing material on top. Okay, here we've got some fern root, okay, to keep the moisture up, and also I have fertilized it with organic sheep dung. So I can see that the sheep dung come in pellets. As you water it, it starts to disintegrate, and over time it actually becomes a wetting pad or the top dressing material, so they keep the moisture up. So there you have it. This is how you can grow Cattleyas using several different medias.